Hello everyone, I'm Alex Absalom.
And I'm Hannah Absalom.
And today we would like to share with you a practical idea for how to be representing Jesus in your street or your workplace, wherever you're hanging out, this Valentine's Day. And obviously this is an extraordinary season with the pandemic going on. And I think many of us feel like, gosh, how can I reach out? How can I be a good witness? It seems impossible. So we want to give you some very practical ideas to help you do that this year. And of course, you can take these ideas forward because you'll be able to use them in future years as well. But we think they're going to work this year. So Hannah, you've been thinking about this quite a lot. It's been something that you've been raising and helping us think about. So just give us perhaps a quick overview on what the kind of motive is behind this and what the kind of the goal is that you're looking for.
Yes, I mean, I was just thinking again, that everybody's depressed, but, things still are not great in society right now for all sorts of reasons. And so I was thinking, how can we as Christians just bring the love of Jesus in a tangible, fun, upbeat, life-giving way? And so I've tried to think, okay, what are lots of different ideas that we could run with? And of course, I mean, Valentine's, we celebrate romantic love, but particularly in America, I think Americans are really good at kids often take stuff to school and just say, oh, I love you, you're my friend or whatever. But I'm thinking, why can't we as adults, steal some of that as well? It's not necessarily about romantic love, but it's how can we spread something way deeper, the love of Jesus, to other people? We don't need to say that, but just implicitly through our actions, we can demonstrate that.
All right, so you've got, I know, a few ideas. Was it 5 ideas?
5 ideas.
5 ideas. 5 ideas. So what's idea number 1?
Number 1, I thought, firstly, you could just go to your neighbours or colleagues or whatever and just write them a nice note or give them a bunch of flowers or just bake some cookies, some heart-shaped cookies or whatever it is, and just say, Happy Valentine's. Or maybe hand them over with a word of appreciation.
So what might you write in a note? Because if someone's saying, well, I'm not going to write Happy Valentine's to my colleague, so what would you write in a note to a neighbour or
and
colleague
actually,
or friend?
This is a separate point in itself. So,
I'm running ahead of the schedule here. So we're going to come back to that. So if you're stuck on the note, pay attention because that's coming up in a minute. But the idea is you bake something, put a note with it.
Or just say, I appreciate you, you're wonderful.
Some gesture of kindness. All right. What's number 2, Hannah?
Number 2 is similarly, but I thought this time maybe you could get even like a basket of goodies and put it on someone's doorstep. I was even thinking, I don't know if you know the thing of You've Been Booed, another great American tradition, sort of around Halloween, where you put a basket of goodies on someone's doorstep and you press the doorbell, run away, or don't even necessarily press the doorbell, but basically you're saying you've been booed and they put a note up in their window saying I've been booed or we've been booed. And it's just a fun little package. Instead of saying, trick or treat, give me, you're giving. And then you're saying, spread it on. And so they then have to give that to 2 other families or 2 other households or whatever. And so I was thinking, could you do that for Valentine's and just have a basket of fun little goodies, put it on someone's doorstep, maybe ring the doorbell, run away, whatever, and say, just do a little note of explanation. I don't know whether it's spread the love or you are loved or whatever it is. And you could then put a little sign in your window, spread the love or whatever. And then you explain, just thought this time of year, this year in particular, everybody needs a bit more loving. So here's some just fun little goodies just to bless you and encourage you and say you're loved. And please go and do this to 2 other households that you know. So I thought that would be a fun idea.
That's a fun idea. So I guess if you're in a community where people like to be generous and do things like that and join in the fun.
They can be cheap little things. It doesn't need to be expensive.
Yes, you don't have to spend a lot of money.
No.
Okay. And one practical tip, I remember when we last did the You've Been Booed thing, was we didn't put a sign in our own window. So the person we booed actually gave it back to us. So it was very sweet of them, very lovely. So maybe put a sign in your window so it doesn't come back to you, it forces it to go to others. Okay, so that's number 2. What's number 3?
Number 3, I was thinking we could, and I know other people have taken this from other people, but you could just write cards to, whether it's teachers in a school or first responders or healthcare workers, those people who are just working their backsides off right now with this pandemic and could need a bit of encouragement. So whether it's cards, you might even want to give them a little inexpensive gift or something as well, particularly if it's a community. I was wondering whether should we do this with our home church, just to support some people, I don't know. But
well, to be specific on that, we've got a couple of nurses in our home church, and so they're in hospitals, very involved. One in particular is extremely involved in a lot of COVID work. So we were just thinking perhaps something we as a community, as a group, could do through them to their colleagues and friends, because it feels more relational, doesn't it?
Yeah, completely. Just to honour those people who are just working extra hard right now.
Yeah, so maybe see if you've got a connection, someone in your group, where you've got an in, where that feels more relational. I think that's something that you can build on in the future as well, which I like about that. It's not just hit and run, but moving on. Okay, so number 4 on our list.
So number 4 is where we come to the cards.
Oh, I was wondering about asking about that, babe.
So whether it's cards, you could write a card, or you could just send a text, or if you want to, you could invite somebody to a drink on your front lawn or whatever. And basically what you're trying to do is you're saying, I really appreciate you. You're communicating, I love you. You might not say that, whatever, but I appreciate you, but be specific. So, in this Valentine season, I'm just aware there's lots of negative stuff around. I would like to just spread the love. So I'm just picking a few people who I just want to say thank you to, and say thank you for always having a smile on your face first thing in the morning, which just makes me feel so much better. Or thank you for looking after my kids so much lately, because that just gives me a bit of sanity. Or choose something specific and tangible, not just saying I appreciate you, but what for, or why, or whatever.
I love that. Yes, so thank you. I enjoy your friendship. Thank you. Appreciate your support. Thank you for. It's great to go on walks with you. Thank you. Whatever.
Yeah. And it could be by text, so it doesn't have to be someone super local. Whatever.
Yeah. Thank you. We get to debate politics if you want to do that. I mean, that's nice. Or perhaps not politics. Sport or something like that. Yeah. So, but the note, be specific, be tangible. Could I put a tweak on that? Which is.
No, you can't.
All right. What you could also do, I think, when you're writing it, is just pause for 30 seconds before the Lord and say, is there something that I could say to this person that is almost like from the Lord? So it could be a prophetic word or just an insight from God. God might give you an insight of direction, some wisdom there.
Or actually it could be, and this is what I thought about and forgot about, but you could affirm something that God is doing or is doing in their life or has made them to be. So I love that you are so good with people. That is a gift from God. Cherish it. Or calling out something good and God-given in their lives. Or as you say, this is what I see in you. Something like
I think the I see in you concept is very good. And if it was a prophetic word, just make sure it's, you abide by 1 Corinthians 14:3, so it's encouraging, strengthening or comforting. And to be honest, I wouldn't say this is a prophetic word from God, because non-Christians, that's a weird filter. So I'll just say, hey, I'm so grateful you're my neighbour, and just as I'm, when you come to mind, I think of this, or I was praying for you today, and I just have a sense of, God's sheer joy over you, and I just want to just let you know that I'm really just so grateful for you. Yeah. So something like that. Okay, and
very good.
Thank you, darling.
Glad you added that.
Thank you. I know, I thought it was quite good. Number 5 on our list is...
Okay, so the last one basically is just on Valentine's Day itself, or just generally, spot the good, even in passing relationships. So even at the grocery store. I mean, I remember somebody at the grocery store several years back said, oh, I love your coat, or whatever it was. And it just made me smile, or, something like that. So just, if there's something you love about somebody, even if you don't know, oh, I love this, or I love, I don't know, just speak it out. Whatever you appreciate about them, just that someone's serving you in a really helpful way. Just be over enthusiastic, loving, speak out what you see, because I think often we don't. Compliment somebody.
Great. I love this. So just to wrap up, is there anything else you want to say to folks just to encourage them to step into this realm?
So I think, what can you tangibly do to put a smile on somebody's face and to communicate that they are loved by you, but implicitly by the Father. And you don't need to necessarily say that explicitly. Maybe you do, but what can you do? It's spotting the gold in people's lives and speaking it out. It is just communicating. You are appreciated. You are loved. this is what's good, and speaking or whatever, to just say that over them.
Fantastic. Really good. Okay, so what your homework is, because we like to give homework out.
You do.
I
Very
do.
bossy.
Very bossy. But what's the point of listening to this and doing nothing about it? So that's really a waste of time. So which of these 5 things are you going to do? You might want to do several, or maybe as you're listening, a 6th idea has come to mind. In which case, do that. That's great
Share
as well.
it on our blog.
Yeah, please. If you got another idea, would you go to downslandresourcing.com, go to the blog tab, and write a note underneath if you've got another idea. But the main thing is, let's get out there. Let's represent Jesus well. This is an opportunity. It's not romantic love we're sharing, but we're sharing the love of Jesus just in tangible, simple ways that make sense to those who you're called to reach.
So thank you, and God bless you as you do this.